Bom, galera, antes eu cheguei no ranking de aventura 35 e daí liberou a missão da Madame Ping, que você consegue o Bule de relaxar. Então eu já aproveitei e vou fazer ela. Eu acho que eu não liberei ainda a missão de Nazuma, porque tem a missão do Dance Life ainda, né? Então, tipo, na próxima semana, talvez eu faça o vídeo de Nazuma, tá? Talvez. Mas eu só sei que ele vai ser lançado no máximo na semana depois da semana que vem. Não tenho certeza que se ele vai ser lançado nessa semana. Na semana que vem, na verdade. E é isso. Na semana que vem eu acho que eu vou lançar a história do Dance Life. Tá? Então se preparem já. Porque a gente vai ver um reencontro incrível lá, eu acho. E bem, é isso. Ah, é, a Madame Ping é um adeptus, né, velho? Esqueci que a Madame Ping é um adeptus. Ah, eu fui.
Allow me to do the honors. Yanfei, I believe you already heard.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about. You became one of Bule's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. Before finally defeating an ancient... A shame that we didn't meet sooner. If we had, well, I'd allow you to introduce my... Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it has... If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address.
All right, Yanfei, all right. You'll have to excuse Yanfei.
Paimon was gonna ask the same... An Adeptus? I guess. He mentioned that he once campaigned with the Rex. They had me, and once I was all grown up... Well, that's a bit casual. Well, my dad did... Anyway, let's not dwell on... The chasm's been sealed off.
Is that so, Yanfei?
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times... That's a real... Commercial consultancy. Or... Crossel. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came... He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there... So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands... Oh, you want to join me? Wow. Best we be a...
Gente, só quero meu Bule de relaxar. Só isso, eu não quero vender Jade, não. Eu só quero meu Bule. Pelo amor de Deus, cada coisa, viu? Só quero meu bulizinho pra relaxar. Nada mais, gente. Galera, comenta aí embaixo se vocês têm um amigo que não chega no ranking de aventura 30 e tá querendo ir pra Inazuma. Porque eu tenho um.
Miss Yanfei.
Wait, is it Smaragd?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest. The contract makes it quite clear. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus jadeite is genuine.
Guaranteed genuine? With 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false?
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance.
In that case, might you know where Miss Chow lives?
Oh, of course. She wrote...
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossel. We'll be off.
Tá, ele mora aqui em cima. Tá bom, né? Quem precisa de escadas, você pode escalar a Ziquial. Com licença, você é Ziquial, tem toda a minha capacidade.
How do you do, Mr. My associates and I are...
The hairpins. I don't know how it could have happened. I spent so much money on them. My family is in the ore business. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around. So we've been having to purchase some stock from... A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle. That's what the hairpins were for, to... well, to keep up appearances. But now that I've lost the hairpin...
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of déjà vu?
Would you really?
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the...
Huh? Well,
Let me see. That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe true. Right. I finished reading the contract. The term... Furthermore, the contract... And given the rarity of Smaragd...
even higher. Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Chicho looks like... However, all of this... Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are... Whichever way you look at it... But... Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be...
Please. Please, however much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants after all. Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't...
Yes, legally speaking. So hold on a moment, Mr. Chow. When you first...
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstone... My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past.
Smooth to the No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things.
Ui.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too, I see.
Isso aqui é uma explica pra Cross e o São Grêmio que
You lost them.
não precisa atender
Are
como
you
zero
serious?
caros.
Sorry, I'm
Meu
sorry.
amigo, dedo muito pra quem nada
Do you have any idea what I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. It was in fact genuine Smaragdus jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course. Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
Alright, understood. I'll conduct some market research.
Ai, para pro update do cenário.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that...
Fala, quando não vai com você, a gente vai falar com você aqui, ó. Deu amado, gente. Ali, ó. 100 metros? Tu é doido, é muito longe. Não podia ser. Eu queria tanto poder matar os bichinhos do TM. Mas bem.
Miss Yanfei, what is this about? Are you...
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins... What do you mean? Are you... Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless time... I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus jadeite is found deep underground and contains very... If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of person. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel...
No, not at all.
Now that is strange. If I have deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus jadeite in his possession. If that's the case, we should go confront him right... Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus jadeite into the sea the moment we... After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that... So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be... Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like that.
Well then, since you're so...
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow. Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Feels like Yanfei is even more concerned. These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied...
I understand. Then I will be glad to...
No problem. Just sign here. And I'll sign too. Okay. Now, and I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and... This contract has so many pages! Alright, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
I've had a read through.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask.
because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus jadeite myself. I noticed whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter. But either way, also, the idea of someone abusing the... But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... Ha! I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau. If Mr. Crossell had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
Que devo comer? Você deve comer miojo.
Why, hello there, honored customers. Well, surely not more spurious claims that my jade...
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnyan merchant named Crossell...
A Snezhnyan merchant... I do remember that. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it... He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought.
Do you have an...
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at...
Procure pelos restos. Aqui estão os restos. Vamos observar os restos.
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me... Yes, it's not particularly rare. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
A thin layer of separation, huh? If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of element... Is that so? So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait!
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come up... These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep... There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that and, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
Alright, let's focus up. We're going off.
But never mind, Shirto.
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them.
Miss Yanfei?
Então não é essa deixa, espera.
Mr. Crossell...
Yes, that's right. I still...
Then I have no further questions. But could I...
Of course.
Oh, I have my reasons. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from...
Yes, I see.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident. Just a... With this hard evidence to back us up? On the contrary, this is far from... If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry... Aha! Got it! Xingxi. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith. Well, that was quick. How can you... Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put that? As such, legal advisors like myself... So you help them make sense of the law? Yes, well, that's no obstacle, because I've memorized all the legal... You memorized? You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's... Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. Again, with that casual tone? Well, that's that then.
Deus amado. Ela é realmente dedicada a coisas jurídicas, né? Tipo, que Deus amado. Xingxi.
Oh, Miss Yanfei, it's you.
Have no further trouble from then on? Yep. Has a merchant by the name of Crossell asked you to put him in...
Crossell. Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no?
The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. This order was on hold for a very long time, and
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found. Miss Inksy, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossell commissioned you to...
yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking Mr. Crossell wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself. The item is called... the inlaid gemstone is recorded as smaragdus jadeite.
Thank you, Sinksy. Now, could you...
Sure, it isn't serving much purpose here anyway.
Nothing you need to worry about. Just a minor issue. Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone... I believe we have almost all... The weirdo with this... Because only he can provide an authoritative statement once we have this final piece of evidence.
Fake. Joia.
Time to go.
Fake joia. A gente vai ter que entrar na justiça se a gente já não entrou. Ué, aqui que não tá aqui agora? Ah, que triste.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that and if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well. Now
Pera,
that's
ele é
even
dendro.
No, no. I'm...
Gente, o primeiro cara dendro que a gente vai receber vai ser ele. 100% confirmado, porque olha lá. Ali. Mas no começo da coxa dele. É um verdinho, então é dendro, é planta. Se ele tem uma visão, quer dizer que ele vai ser um personagem jogável. Nossa senhora. Incrível.
Ah, you needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju.
You're too calm.
Incrível. Olha com Crossell lá. Sei lá, o nome desse cara é mais estranho. Então não iremos citar ele. Vamos chamar ele de o homem da pirataria.
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
Ivanovic. Vem aqui, seu falso. Ele tá aberto de receber.
Finished your investigation?
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded.
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you...
Of course. Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chout.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay?
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be smaragdus. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the art...
Material evidence? What material evidence? I spent a huge sum to obtain that smaragdus jadeite, and yet...
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can... This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and...
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between smaragdus jade... In any case, smaragdus...
That's an unsubstantiated...
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated.
Looks like our first hard evidence. Something legally binding. Wait, come on. I meant the backup copy of the document from the Ministry of... Come on. I meant the backup copy of the document from the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Come on. I meant the backup copy of the document from the Ministry of Civil... Come on. I meant the backup copy of the Come on. I meant the backup copy of the document from the Ministry of Civil Affairs. The one we got from Sinksy of Minxing Jewelry.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's...
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either. You know, you could be right. Perhaps...
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown...
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall... Traveler, would you do the honors? This shall...
What's this?
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster. Sustained contact with Smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar... No idea, you say? I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but however, I'm sure that the ministry will be relatively... Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented... I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait, what?
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear Mr. Crossell.
Huh? No, I...
Aren't actually inlaid with genuine Smaragdus jadeite? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will... Mr. Crossell, your answer, please.
Ah, pegamos no fragla.
I admit it.
Não, como é flagra.
The ore I had inlaid on... But I'm a victim in all of this, too. I invested a great deal of time, but after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I went to Bule Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus nephron. I kept the real Smaragdus jadeite and especially made... I was worried that someone would see through it.
Exactly! If they weren't to be a...
I didn't want to either, but when I if word got...
Alright, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing...
10 times.
Crossell looks like he could faint any second. As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow...
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus jadeite.
There's no need. Even if the Smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bet...
Ms.
However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus jadeite...
What? But
Miss Yenfei, I'll turn the Smaragdus jadeite over to you.
Well, that's not quite how the rules...
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yenfei.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Well then, that's good. Mr. Crossell, it seems that my client has no...
Actually, Mr. Crossell, I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, if we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores...
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smaragdus jadeite that Granny wants too.
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up even though
the right solution depends on the objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to
Okay, what
reduce
the-
an adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by human. The title of adeptus means precious little to me compared to... In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor...
Meu Deus, que tá bugado.
I'm can think of someone who would definitely do...
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny.
Tá, conseguimos uma jadeirita esmaragdos.
Time to go.
Conseguimos uma jade que faz todo mundo ficar mal. Ponto, não tem nome, é isso, mano. Ai, ai, como é legal instalar coisas na cidade de Liyue, que é muito grande, mas não tem grampos pra prender o cabelo de jadeita esmaragdos. Manda-me ping.
You've returned. How good.
Well, if we're all set, Granny,
Oh, you. All right.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't... I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever...
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not?
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Goodness no. Indeed, Yanfei might be overly Liyue is all right then. Let us.
Oh, Paimon's so excited!
It is but. There we go. Hold it firmly. If you were to drop it,
Oh, goodness. Take these blueprints with you as well.
Wait a minute, Granny.
Oh, you needn't worry.
Acho que eu vou ir na moradia flutuante. Meu Deus, eu fui teleportado. Eu entrei dentro de um bule de chá. Ok. Uau.
Huh. But there's just a whole load of
Meu irmão vai quebrar umas pedras e fazer uma casa.
still. Oh, wait a sec. Wow, it's a huge finch. Excuse me, hang on a moment.
Ixi, pássaro tem Alzheimer.
I
Tube.
suppose you make. So you're the little help, Madam Ping? Oh, you may leave all your journey may be far, though it is the Adepti who thus you may consider. Now allow me to. Have you any blueprints on you? As long as you have a blueprint, you can. Blueprints? Yes, these are the blueprints. Just commit the image of Ben. Simply release the thought from your mind and. Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city. I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus, he said that even though subspace creation is, this world is not a true one. A golden-eyed adeptus? I hardly remember myself. Well, let's not dwell on that. If there's anything you would like to.
Wherever in this.
Meu Deus. Vou colocar aqui. Meu Deus, a gente criou isso. Meu Deus, eu preciso forjar uns. Que incrível! Quem precisa daquele ferreiro de monstros, date agora. Muito top. Pude relaxar. Próximo. Missão. Assuntos do Bule. Procure tudo dentro do Bule de relaxar. Conseguimos uma gema essencial. Legal. Uma, né? Posso me ajudar? Bom, galera, então foi isso. Espero que tenham gostado e até o próximo vídeo de 7 e outro vídeo.